So Alex, a 4-1 win at Darlaston Town today. First win as a manager. Like, tell us how you feel, I suppose.
Relieved. I think that's probably the biggest word. No, I thought, yeah, superb result. Superb performance, really, in a lot of ways as well. Probably a result that we've needed. There's no two ways around it. Where you could argue whether or not some of the games that we've played previously that we might deserve a win, but in reality, we've from minute 1 to 90. One little setback from conceding the goal, the first goal to concede. Yeah, it's good to come back from that, and yeah, it's good to get a win.
And you're on top for most of the game, especially in the first half. We started really, really well. Created quite a few clear-cut chances and just wasn't going in at the beginning. Then they scored the goal. You must have felt same old story coming here when they've got the goal, but the reaction was spot on to the goal and sort of kicked right straight on and had created more and more chances after that.
Yeah, in some silly way, yeah, I think it was important that we conceded. If we're going to concede a goal, we concede it quite early on, in some respects, because I think over the past couple of weeks we conceded in the last 20, and after conceding in the last 20, we've just sort of seen the life come out of us a little bit, especially at Avro on Monday. So we've conceded in the first 15. I thought that first 15 minutes was the best we've played all season. I genuinely thought I thought it was. I thought we got in behind. I thought we moved the ball really well. We were camped in their third. They scored a really good goal, but in reality, I thought the first 15 minutes was really strong. Disappointed to concede the goal, but the reaction after it was really good. And to then go and get 2 goals in the next half hour takes us a lead into there, and it's a well-deserved lead as well within that. So, yeah, part of me did think when we conceded, part of me thought, how on earth were we behind here? But it was good for us to concede early on, because I think that's the first time this season, possibly even pre-season, the first time, parts of pre-season, it's definitely the first time this season that we're conceding in the first half. Yeah, and we reacted perfectly well to it, and we thought we had another one for a change cleared offline, and that, yeah, and I think that we showed enough really in the first 45 minutes to really take it on, and it just meant that the second half were important, that we kept our foot on the gas, which we did.
A lot's been made this season so far of goal scorers and sort of a lack of goal scorers in the team. Probably an unfair reflection on some players because it's just not happened. But Umar today scores a proper striker's hat trick today as well.
Yeah, and that's what Umar does, and I think Umar will get some stick sometimes if he doesn't score. But I think Umar against Clitheroe, Umar against Nantwich, and against Avro, more so the first two. But against them 3 teams, he's worked tirelessly to keep us up the pitch. The difference is that we didn't get crosses in the box. We didn't get balls in the box. I think we had 2. The report we got from the Avro game, we only tried 2 crosses all game, and the 2 crosses that we tried all game were unsuccessful. No striker's going to feed off that. No striker whatsoever is going to feed off that service. So we've talked a lot about this week about how we can feed our strikers. Just go on, we fed him, and he's, Numar's gone and scored 3, but Reece has had enough chances as well. Obbs has had good for Obbs to score, but it's good. He's had a couple of good chances. We've had chances from sets, huge penalty shouts. But if you can't get the ball into the box, your striker's never going to score. So no matter who you've got in there, it's never going to happen. And I think we really let ourselves down previously for not feeding him. We fed him today, and he scored 3 good goals. I mean, the third goal's a superb goal. But he scored 3 proper strikers' goals, which we need it. There's no 2 ways around it. We desperately need it, and I'm made up for him because that's what he lives off. He lives off scoring goals. And we've allowed that to happen. And I think the team has fully supported Umar, but it's fully supported each other to put balls into areas and put balls into boxes to be able to then go and score some goals, which is what's been desperately missing on it. So, yeah, made up for him.
And the third goal, you've just said, really, really good goal. Great finish from Umar, but the player who makes it is Reece. It's a brilliant ball, but Reece was excellent again today. And he seems like you've played him in probably 2 or 3 different positions, and every time he plays, he's 100% player and gives nothing but the best.
Yeah, and he's probably one player this week that I've spoken to the most, that's felt the last month. He's probably felt it. And he was just as relieved, I think, in a lot of ways, to make sure that we're getting the rewards for the hard work that we're putting into it. Reece is probably a player that in previous years has been a victim of his flexibility. But I think what we're seeing from Reece now, we're able to ask him to go into different positions, and we ask him to do different roles, and he does them. But he also excels at them, and he's done really well. But I think that third goal as well, it were a superb goal. But for me, some of the movement was, we asked people not to be static in the movement. We asked people not to be static high up. And Joe Burke started on the left on that movement, then he ended up on the right, and he sort of fed pass before the pass. And I made it. Just sort of buzzing for Reece to get a couple of assists, and buzzing for Umar to get 3, and massive 3 points for us.
And without picking out every player in the squad today, there's 2 more players to really touch on. So first of all, Isaac Graham today. He's been very good all season, but he was outstanding today. Just seemed like he bossed the whole game from start to finish.
Colossal. He's a mountain of a man, and he's someone that we desperately need. His energy and how he can win that ball back. But we need his drive and his quality on the ball. And I think him in the middle allowed it. We asked him to do 2 different roles throughout the 90. And he done it really well. But yeah, he needs to now string them performances together. He now needs to string. It's all good and well having good 45s and then sort of going missing for chunks. But for today, I think Isaac, along with everyone else that were involved, I think it's important that he create a 90-minute performance, or at least a 75-minute performance where he can really sort of like win your duel, win your battle, in the right areas, pick the ball and play. And he was the link between back to front. And we asked him and Shep to get on the ball and tick it over and make sure that we dominated it, and we kept it in the final third, more so than we've just sent it from back to front at times. But we haven't had the opportunity to have sort of certain types of players in there to link, and today we have, and luckily it's worked.
And the last player to cover, really, so made a few appearances off the bench this season so far, but we all know how important Will Shepherd is, and he came in today and he was excellent for someone who's had an injury on a tough pitch to play on as well.
Yeah, I love Shep. I think he's such well thought of between the staff, myself, but the players themselves as well. And today Shep had a planned 45. Well, it were hard. We sort of threw the plan in the bin a bit with Shep. We needed him. There's no 2 ways around it. We needed a result. We needed Shep to play. He desperate to play. He's sort of done the 30s. We're taking it steady with him. He's come through unscathed, touch wood. That's a really good progression part of it. The hard part today was actually taking him off, because I knew how much he would dictate in the play of it, how much he were landing on it, resetting us, organising. It was just everything that Shep is. It was tough to take him off, to be honest. But listen, for him to get 60 minutes is enormous, absolutely enormous for his progression. But it's I think we can finally sort of look at like the type of player that we need in there to be able to play the type of football that we've recruited for, and hopefully he stays fit. Hopefully Mason could come back in. We've got a couple of others coming back in, a couple of irons in fire as well, and all being well, what we can do is we can try and implement that style enormously. But it's 3 points. That's all it is. It's 3 points. We're still in August, weirdly. It's still in August. It's just 3 points. We need to move on to next week.
And that brings us on to next week. So with Bridlington away next week, today's the first of 3 really long trips for us. Here, Bridlington and Sporting Calcer. Do you take the win from today and go into that with sort of nothing to fear, nothing to lose?
Yeah, I think, for me, it's not. There's no game that you can write off. I hate the term free. I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's not that at all. We've got to travel. We've got to travel in our league. We travelled to Nantwich last week, which is quite a far travel. Again, here today, to Bridlington next week, and then Shifnal week after. But part and parcel of it, if we play with that intensity and that tempo, we're a match for anyone. And the movement is huge. We just need to sharpen a few things up, hopefully get a couple of injured bodies back, possibly 1 or 2 through, maybe. But in reality, if we keep to them core principles that we showed today, you won't go far wrong in many games. It's just making sure that we look at what we're good at and we're true to ourselves, and we're able to put the ball into areas that we're going to go and score. And we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Alex. Well done for today.
Nice one.